So my name is Joel Miranda. I'm the Director of Leadership Development at YouthBuild USA. Our national offices are actually nearby in Davis Square. I had some visuals because I didn't want everyone looking at me. However, technology is not my friend this week. And I recently attended a workshop by The Moth. So I'm going to try and channel what I learned at that workshop. So I'm a superheroes fan. And ever since I was a little kid, I enjoyed playing superheroes. And one of my most innocent earliest memories is of me playing Batman and Robin, myself, my cousin, and my brother playing Batman and Robin as children. I remember tirelessly running around with a towel tucked in my shirt, and me, my cousin, and my brother would sound out every bam, crack, kapow as we beat up imaginary villains. And with each victory, we'd stand there, chest open, arms out, the imaginary winds of victory blowing at our capes. It was the classic hero's pose, and for that brief moment, we were invincible. I recall marveling at Superman's powers, and when no one was around, I'd jump off the counter or table. For a few seconds, I was suspended in midair, and I believed that one day with practice, I would be able to fly. That's when I was 5 years old. Years later, I fell painfully to the ground when I made the life-altering decision to drop out of high school. I was an angry and disconnected young man. I'd lost faith in everyone, everything, including myself. After a while of sort of getting my fill of 40-ounce malt liquors and partying, I decided that I needed to go back to school. I had seen some crews in my neighborhood building affordable housing, and I said, that looks fun. And as I talked to them, they told me that they were going to school, they were getting a stipend, that the adults in the program really cared about them, and I said, adults like that don't exist. I decided to go check it out. And my initial plan was to get a GED as soon as possible and leave before I could connect with anyone, because the last thing I needed were new friends. Little did I know that that decision would change my life forever. I was at YouthBuild for about a year, and after graduating from YouthBuild Justice Start, I served for 2 years as a full-time AmeriCorps member, focusing on community outreach, recruitment, and community and civic engagement efforts. This experience allowed me to continue developing as a young professional while staying connected to the program. Now, during this time, the staff at YouthBuild saw something in me that I didn't see myself, and they found a way to hire me full-time. And so, while I was working there, I put my AmeriCorps Education Award to use by paying for night and weekend college courses. At this time, my parents had gotten caught up in the housing crisis, and they were struggling to keep their home. So I left school, left everything I was doing, left the community work that I loved so much, and pursued a more lucrative career as a personal trainer. I was a gym buff, I was a bit of a meathead. I thought I could do it. I was 23 years old at the time, and I was making way more money than a 23-year-old should be making. And as a result of that, I returned to some really horrible behaviors and developed some equally horrible behaviors. I realized that I had lost something. I wasn't proud of myself. I didn't care about anything again, and I'd lost myself. One day, I'm at the gym training a client, and I see this woman walk in who looks familiar, and it turns out that it was Sarah Fast. She was a teacher who had taken an interest in me while I was at YouthBuild. And she insisted that she wanted to hire me as a personal trainer, even though the gym was 30 to 45 minutes out of her way. Now, I didn't think she needed a trainer, but I wanted to take her money, so I said yes. Over the course of weeks and then months as we trained, Sarah would fill me in on the work that was taking place at the ground level, some of the things that were going well, some of the challenges they were having around engaging young people. And remembering my passion for the work, and after realizing how unhappy I was, she asked if I ever thought about returning to the community work and coming back to YouthBuild, this time working as a staff member around engaging young people. Realizing that I was unhappy, I said yes. And so I returned to YouthBuild. I returned to work as a youth advocate, as an outreach specialist, and later as a case manager. And while I took a massive pay cut, I gained so much more in personal value. Through the work I did there, I learned so much more about myself and about the potential to bring about positive and lasting change. Sorry, I'm reading a bit. I learned how combining love and opportunity helps young people transform in ways that no textbook or classroom experience can replicate. I discovered the power of mentoring as I became more than a 9-to-5 advisor to young people. I became the older brother, the father figure, the friend that they never had or always needed. I allowed myself to feel the gamut of emotions that are humanly possible rather than simply feeling the anger and frustration and disconnection that I had relegated myself to. Through my work with young people and myself, I saw firsthand that when an individual learns that they're able, they're willing. Upon realizing their capacity, they develop interest. And when they see that they're capable of success, they desire it. Most importantly, when they realize that they're worthy of care, they discover that they care not only about themselves, but the world around them as well. This experience redefined what it meant to be a hero, okay? I realize now that Sarah didn't need a personal trainer. She wanted to find me. She was worried. And we joke about this. We have dinner now. I met her 15 years ago. And 9 years after this experience where she hired me as a personal trainer, we go out to eat, and she said, yeah, you were really taking my money. So that was 9 years ago. I haven't looked back. There's nothing to look for back there. Through my work with young people and in the communities they come from, I discover what I truly care about. I found my purpose. I found myself. Now, this experience, while seemingly miraculous, is not unique. Every day, 10,000 young people walk through the doors at YouthBuild programs. Disconnected, angry. They've survived a life that they would not desire for anyone else to live, but that they somehow live through themselves every day. And the adults at YouthBuild programs engage them. They're not scared to reach out. They're not saying, hey, we're only going to serve you. We're not going to love you. They're there, and they not only love them, but they hug them. They bring them in. They're not scared to engage them at a very personal level. And they quickly realize that these young people, that the adults in the program are not creating anything in these young people. The adults in the program are tapping into something that was already there. And I like to compare that process to the process that energy goes through in the first law of thermodynamics, the law of the conservation of energy, right? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it transforms, right? It changes from one form to another. And so our young people are coming in with talent. Our young people are coming in with passion. Our young people are coming in with their survival skills that this world needs. And by combining love, opportunity, leadership development, academic development, career development, life skills development, those young people come out of the program ready to tackle the world. Those young people come out of the program ready to keep a job, ready to succeed in school. And so through this process, I realized that by engaging one person, what Sarah did was she created this windfall of change, of transformation. The ripple effects were enormous. And so I made it my mission to make sure that if there's anything I do well, is that every interaction I have with the young people I work with is about that one interaction, is about that level of engagement at the most personal level, and not viewing the young people as a group. Last year, after 9 years of working at my local YouthBuild program, I decided that I wanted to broaden my horizons. I wanted to take my work to a broader level, and I was afforded the privilege of joining the team at YouthBuild USA as their Director of Leadership Development and Graduate Leadership. And so currently my role is to engage young people at the national level. We have a network of 273 programs where this is happening every day. We have a network of 60 programs in 14 other countries where this is happening every day. We're engaging young people and tapping into their talent, tapping into their energy to address the needs of the day. And so I am, when I talk about this, I feel like I'm doing amazing things, but I feel like I'm not doing enough. And so I feel that it's my duty to engage every single one of those young people that I come across, right? To inspire in them that moment, that aha moment where they realize that they're capable of so much more, so that they can go out and have these one-on-one interactions. Right before leaving my local program that I had worked at for many years, a young person who graduated from my program about 5 years ago, heard that I was leaving, and he wrote on my Facebook wall, and he said, "Best of luck, buddy. At the lowest of low points, when everyone in my life had given up on me, you believed in me, you reached out to me, you encouraged me. Those three little things had a dramatic impact on who I am today. You are a true mentor and a friend." And for that brief moment, I was 5 years old again, and my 5-year-old self was happy to see that I can fly. So, thank you.